Welcome back to another week of our journey through the book of Galatians as we continue to discover the very central ingredients of the gospel. I've often noticed in my own life that many times I make decisions or I act in ways that reflect not the truth of the situation, but what I imagine to be true in a situation. It's really important in this process of becoming what God would have us to become and recognizing how love works in our life, that we understand how our imagination plays an important role in that process and sometimes keeps hidden from us the very best that can be because of how we imagine things are. In the writing of Galatians, and as Paul outlines the very essence of what the gospel is, he includes this section in the second chapter of Galatians where he says that after a long period of time, in fact 14 years, where he was developing his understanding of the way faith worked, that God revealed to him that it was important for him to go back to Jerusalem, back to where the church had begun, to the place where the leaders of the church were, and to share with them his understanding of the gospel. I think Paul probably recognized the value of doing that and having other people affirm that yes, the way he understands the grace of God is the way that it is. It's very clear, though, from these first few verses that Paul had a real fear. There was conflict in the church. This other gospel that we talked about last week was taking a hold. It seems that people were saying that yes, we're saved by what Christ has done for us, but that must be lived out in a form that is similar to the Jewish faith. And Paul was of the understanding that no, Christ had come to set us free, to become the best people, the best reflection of the grace of God at work in our lives, as our lives are centered around the issue of love, not around the ways that we do things. And so he is going back to Jerusalem to present this gospel, but because of this conflict, he is very much concerned that when he gets there, the very leaders of the church will say to him, Paul, we want you to conform to this ritual and this way of doing things and this habit and all the things that are part of the Jewish faith. Yes, we all believe in Jesus, but he came as a Jew, and it's important for us to hold on to our Jewish history. That was his concern. But what he discovered when he got there was that the grace of God had been working in their lives just as it was like work in his, and they completely affirmed the message that he was giving. That becomes very important in understanding how the gospel works. It's important for us to allow our imaginations to be captured by captured by grace, so that they help us make decisions in consistency with the gospel, not in contradiction to it. It's a really important message for us to hold with us as we go throughout this week ahead of us.